Chris, a service provider that we've been working with has come to us and asked us how we can improve service levels through consolidation.
Service levels, that's an interesting question. I'll tell you why. A lot of the virtualization technologies that people are talking about at the moment are perceived as delivering increased service levels through things like high availability implementations as well as dynamic scheduling, etc. And whilst to a certain extent they will address service level, they may have downsides in terms of service quality. But also, you just come back to the service level thing just quickly. A lot of these technologies monitor the health of the operating system instance. Significant percentages of failures, 80% plus, of outages or service outages are actually to do with software, not hardware. And so if you're monitoring just the operating system and it's the application that crashes, the application disappears, but your virtual infrastructure is not going to do anything about it. And it's not going to do anything because it's talking to the operating system, and the operating system says, yeah, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. But the application maybe disappeared a while ago, and you don't know that until the users start phoning up and saying, why is my email offline? Why can't I get to my favourite website, etc. And so you need to be careful that the virtualization and consolidation you're doing is going to still deliver the service levels that you become used to in real high availability environments. The other thing you've got to think about is your service is still tied to an OS instance, which is tied to a hypervisor. Actually, real consolidation and virtualization comes when you separate the application from an OS instance. Now, whilst that might seem at odds with what a lot of virtualization organizations are talking about, if I can do that, and I've standardized on the tier underneath, then I can move it anywhere in the environment. The other thing it allows me to do is, if I've got a virtual instance at the moment, the most it can take up is the machine that it occupies. So most technologies, virtualization technologies, will monitor the activity or utilization on the environment. If it's seen that it's increasing significantly on this machine, it will take off all the less important or lower priority or defined as more movable instances to allow that physical instance to take up more, if not all, of the box. Now, if you've done that, effectively what you've done is you set up a monolithic virtualized instance. And that means that I've probably put significant cost and investment into the virtualization tier, all the complexity that sits below it. And actually I'm delivering no more service quality than I would be with a physical machine.
So what are the specifics around being able to really address this service level responsiveness much more effectively?
The key is application awareness.
And what are the specific products then that would deal with that, or tools that you would use to actually deliver that?
So the way Fujitsu have approached this is there is no one right answer to that. And the reason for that is if you look at organisations like Microsoft, like SAP, like Oracle, they all have different management tools for managing their software environments. And their management tools have become quite sophisticated in terms of the information you can take out of the stack. But because inherently they're different, you need a different approach to how you manage the environment. So the first step that we took as an organisation back in 2003 is to actually build a management infrastructure that integrates with the application management infrastructure. Okay, so then you start to align all of the tools together. I've got a tool that understands what's going on in the application tier. I've got a tool that's capable of provisioning more bare metal, and I've got a tool that's capable, also OS onto bare metal I should say, and I've got a tool that's capable of moving an application onto that bare metal once I've provisioned it. So in doing that, I'm addressing service level because I can do automated failover. I may be impacting service level even more by moving to a scale out environment where I have 3 instances of the same application. One goes away, I've still got 2 running, but automatically in the background we'll bring the 3rd instance back up on another piece of resource. So for application-specific environments where the software vendor has given us management tools, we developed this suite of products called FlexFrame that are designed precisely to reduce server count, increase service level, increase service quality, and allow dynamic provisioning and re-provisioning of the environments underneath the application. You cannot deliver consistent service level and service quality without understanding and acting on what's going on in the application tier.
So how do I do that when it doesn't apply specifically to an application like SAP or Oracle? How do I apply that to my whole infrastructure?
Inevitably, if I don't really understand what's going on in the application stack because I don't have the management tools, then I have to rely on this. Is it there? Is it not there? Type environment. Now with generic applications where we have a mix of lots of different applications that would still be perceived as mission critical, high performance, disaster recovery requirements, etc. Our processing area network product, which is built into Blade Frame, allows you to do a lot of that stuff for generic applications, automated failover, automated scale out with integration with some of the software tools, as well as easy scale up and easy failover for between buildings for disaster recovery purposes. In fact, one of our customers, what they do is using Blade Frame, they actually switch data centers every month. And the reason they do that is so they can do scheduled maintenance in the data center they've just moved away from. And actually within that data center, during the day, they provision and re-provision what the frame is actually running. So during the day it's running a banking application, overnight it's running batch. And they automatically swing that load in and out. And again, that's because of the integration work we've done with applications, even where we don't necessarily have all the tools from the software manufacturer.
So what we're saying here is that we've got tools to address service virtualization, and that's the bigger area that's going to impact your improved service levels.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think about it, people who use IT or people who procure IT come to that. They don't go out and buy a Unix server or a Linux server or a Windows server. They tend to go out and buy an Oracle database server or an Oracle application server. So they're already thinking about the services that will be consumed from this procurement. So therefore we focus as a business on how do we maintain that level of service quality and service management with the lowest cost model possible. So significant reductions in total cost of ownership through automation and integration and of course virtualization.